Hello everyone, Grumpy here. I thought I'd take the time today to go through some of the new Bedouin units that we can expect, especially with the new release in January. Not January, July, sorry. Um, for those who haven't played the demo and aren't too familiar, we've got 8 new unit types coming to the game called the Bedouin, and they'll be available here, as you can see, in the Bedouin Stockade. So I thought I'd just go through each one and give some thoughts as to what the application of those units might be within the game, and what sort of strategies we might see going forward. I'm currently going through the first edition trails for Stronghold Crusader HD, just as a bit of a commemoration of the game, really, in the lead up to July. So I'll go through these now and offer some thoughts, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Happy to have a chat about any new ideas, how it might affect multiplayer, or how it will change the game entirely. So the first one we have here is the skirmisher. These basic desert warriors are not too expensive but possess only limited hand-to-hand skills. However, their strength comes from their replenishable spear throw, which when micromanaged in large numbers can prove very useful to a skillful tactician. Their spears are also very effective against siege equipment, particularly portable shields. Bedouin units can be hired from the Bedouin Stockade. So we've for those who've played the demo, we've been fighting against these quite a bit already. And one thing that's quite interesting is they're not too expensive, but they do seem to be able to trade quite well with towers. Um, I'm wondering what the final application of them will be, because they do seem to be quite good at standing in front of towers and picking off units. With the new update saying that you can't put portable shields in towers anymore, which is going to be massive, these could be really good at clearing out some of those archers based in towers. I don't think they'll be a, a heavily go-to unit, but I do think they'll be pretty good. I'm not sure how good they'll be defensively, but from what I've seen in the demo, they're quite good at standing in front of towers and just picking off units. Quite annoying, really. So moving into the next one, where are we? Eunuch. Eunuchs are slow, lumbering, strong defenders. These brutes do periodic area damage that can kill large groups of attackers with ease. Use them to guard vital access points. Bedouin units can be hired from the Bedouin Stockade, so these just look like monsters. I wouldn't be surprised if people fill their keeps full of these just to protect the king. Um, I can see the use of having them at choke points, but a lot of people tend to just fence off their castles entirely. Um, they could be really good at holding gatehouses, if a moat gets filled in. But I wonder what their overall defense is. It'd be good to see what a 1v1 looks like between a eunuch and a Crusader swordsman or an Arabian swordsman. I know Crusaders tend to be a little bit stronger, but I just want to see how crazy these actually are, because it'd be very good to deal with assassin rushes at the keep. If they can kill multiple units and are really strong, having a good few of these guarding the king could be really handy. So that's my first thoughts on them. Sappers. These fast desert termites will eat through castle walls in no time. They are also alert to pitch traps and will take little damage from fire. Just don't rely on them to fight your battles. Um, so my first thought is, against AI, these would be really good at dealing with the Caliph. I hate fighting the Caliph because he uses pitch everywhere and he's a pain. I'm not sure what the multiplayer aspect will be for these, but against certain AIs, it'd be really, really good. Bringing down castle walls and dealing with pitch could be a massive plus. There wasn't really much in the way of counter pitch measures. You just sort of had to try and bait out the ignition of pitch, which is quite annoying. So I'm glad that there's now a dedicated mechanic to deal with that. So I suspect these would be quite good against a lot of the AI. Demolishes, I'm excited about these. Slower cousins of the Sappers, these tougher armoured wall breakers have a one-time shield lift to allow them to approach under a hail of missiles. They are also aware of all types of castle trickery. enabling them to trigger spike traps with impunity and dig up any enemy pitch ditches they encounter. Bedouin units can be hired from the Bedouin stockade, fine. So that'll just say at the end of all of it. These are going to be nuts, I think. I've dealt with these on the actual demo, and they take ages to kill with arrows when the shield's up. These are going to be front line, attacking castles, just clearing the way, I suspect, getting through walls. Towers, I think, are going to be a lot weaker come July, because there's just so many new ways of dealing with mass archers, and these are going to be pivotal for that, I think. So getting a few of these at the front, shields raised, sort of storming the castle is going to be really, really good. Again, another anti-pitch measure. I think the trick will be to set off the pitch before they get there, because if they get to the pitch before it's ignited, they might be able to deal with it. So yeah, these look really, really good. And I think because there's so many anti-tower measures, or it's looking like there's going to be more anti-tower measures, units like the Eunuch, are going to be quite valuable, potentially. So these look really, really good. I'm excited about these. Healer. Slow moving and weak. The healers, heal. Well, who knew? They need to be close to their patient, and they can only work on one person at a time, but using them effectively opens up many tactical possibilities. Now, the big thing for me when it comes to these is how close do you have to be? Because if you're attacking somebody and you're using the heavy camel, which we'll go into in a little bit, and these can stand some distance away, then that could be really, really strong. But if they have to be in the thick of the action to heal somebody, they're just going to get picked off. Defensively, if they can stand at the bottom of a tower and heal units inside the tower, that also could be quite good, but you're going to need one healer per archer, and that doesn't sound very efficient. So I'm on the fence about these. I think in theory it's quite interesting, but it depends on how quick the heal is, how effective it is, and how far do they actually have to be. That can change everything, really. If you can heal heavy camels at a reasonable distance whilst they're attacking towers, that could be really good. But we'll have to see on that one. Heavy camel. Here we go. The slower of the two camel units, and definitely the more expensive, the heavy camel has both a strong fighter and an archer on board. When stationary, the archer will fire at distant targets, but it is also deadly at close range too. Combined with its fearsome melee warrior, the heavy camel is a veritable tank of the desert. I think these are going to be a problem. You get these en masse, your towers just aren't going to be able to kill them all. Especially if they've got healers glued to them, and if you've got demolishers going first. You're going to need melee units at the wall, like at the bottom of the wall on the outside, because arrows just aren't going to kill these things. And we've seen it already in the demo. They are tanky as hell. So you've got a mass of these, a mass of demolishers, healers. You're going to need units at the wall, I think, just to kill them off. So I think the overall strategy for defending castles is going to be more reliant on melee units. I don't think filling towers full of archers is going to do it anymore. So that's going to be a big problem, I think. In a good way. I think it makes the game a lot more interesting. Camel Lancer. Fast and armed with sharp lances, the Camel Lancer is ideal for chasing down fast-moving targets. Its reasonable cost also makes it a good choice for lightning raids into enemy territory. Now, the main question I have is, are they faster than horse archers? Because if so, being able to stop horse archers in their tracks and just kill them dead is going to be huge. Because horse archers are a bit of a staple. You get those en masse running around the map just picking off towers. You can send a wave of these and kill half of those off. That's going to be really, really good. I'll need to play a bit more of the demo just to see what the tracking is like on the missiles. So, if you've got a group of these running by, can your towers reasonably take them out? Or are they too quick? Because if so, you could basically blitzkrieg farms, blitzkrieg stone mines, iron mines. If you can get to them past the main gate, or past the main base, depending if it's all walled off. There's a lot of different variables here. I think that's really interesting. So if they're quicker than horse archers, I think these could be quite annoying, especially if you're used to the old school mass horse archer with portable shields running around type type strategy. So yeah, that'd be something I'd want to test. Ambusher. Experts in the art of concealment, the ambusher camouflages themselves, hiding from enemies within a period of becoming stationary. Should adversaries come in range, they quickly rise up and hurl deadly firepots at the unlikely intruders. Their firepots can also be used to light pitch ditch. These could be good against the demolishers and the heavy camel we were talking about. I think these when I first saw them, I was like, yeah, probably not that useful. But if you need to react quickly defensively and just start setting things on fire before the demolisher can dig it up, that could be a really good way to kill stuff. Because I don't think sitting on the tower, on the castle walls and in the tower is going to be the way forward. You're going to need units outside of the castle, melee units, ambushes, just trying to put a dent in the attack as it's coming. So I think it brings a new dynamic overall. Bedouin Stockade will obviously be the new building where the Bedouin units come from. So that's my 2 cents on the 8 new units. Do leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know any strategies that you think of. And if you feel up to it, subscribe. Cheers, guys.